main segment is 6 minutes.
6 and then
Okay.
and then the
One
final
of the
4.
things that I didn't get a chance to talk about, I'm sure I'll talk about
Well,
that.
we'll talk
but
about
you
what
know,
you
I'm
wanna talk
glad that I didn't, because I would have talked, I don't want to repeat myself. And one of the
Well, it's
things that I
okay.
didn't talk about was the fiscal cliff. Do you know about the
who?
fiscal cliff? Fiscal cliff.
What is
Okay,
that?
because, well, wait, before we do this,
He's not going to do anything. I'm in control here.
the BART is at a fiscal cliff because the fare box return is only 40% of what it was.
Oh.
They've lost the money.
Oh, they got a
could
budget
lose-
crisis.
A budget crisis.
Okay.
Possible.
What is a fiscal cliff? Are they looking over the
Oh,
hill
they
and
use
about
that-
to fall over?
No, they got
I
a
know.
bankruptcy crisis.
Okay.
And
Well, let's talk
I don't
about
want to
that.
really
That's
talk
important.
about it.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so, the fiscal cliff, and if we don't get somebody who knows what they're doing.
Well, let's talk about that. All right. Let it roll.
And you got new trains too, huh?
Well, yeah, those were
I
purchased.
saw that
yes.
over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, I like those legacy trains.
Yes.
But it's gone. Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Dana Lane, a candidate for the BART Board of Supervisors, District 7. Remember
Yes.
that, District 7. Dana, can we talk just for a moment or so about some of the perhaps fiscal problems we're having or
Yes.
will have with BART?
As I
Because
mentioned-
anytime ridership is down, that means you ain't getting revenue in.
Yes, BART-
And if you ain't getting revenue in, with expenses going out,
Yes.
there's a problem.
Yes.
Now tell us about it.
Yes. BART is facing a fiscal cliff. And that's a nice way of saying bankruptcy. Because if the revenue isn't coming in, and BART was making its operations, and so much was based on getting that revenue. Only 40% of the people who rode BART 4 or 5 years ago are on the system now. But they're still on the freeway. You notice the
true.
freeways are crowded.
Oh, yes, I
So
do.
people who should be on BART,
Or not,
could
because
be
they're on
on
that
BART.
stupid freeway.
they're on the freeway,
Well,
and
how do we get 'em
they're
back on?
afraid of the issues with. Have been in the past some safety issues, some cleanliness issues.
Yeah, definitely cleanliness.
We need to get them back. We need to convince them to come back, so that if you have to take the freeway, you're not there stuck in traffic. So it is a public transit.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get people back who should be back on public transit. There is that fiscal cliff, read bankruptcy, and if we don't have someone who knows how to get the money in, such as myself, hey,
Nothing wrong with tooting your own horn.
who knows where the money is, how to get it, already has the networks
Mm-hmm.
of 24 years. I used to go to conferences and people would tap me on the shoulder. Dana, I'd always get someone who said, "We know that you're a grant writer. We know that you're a funding person. Can you use this
You're
money?"
a grant writer?
Oh, 24 years
Well,
of
then
grant
you should
writing.
be on the BART board writing grants, or at least
No,
helping.
I can direct
Right, I
staff
said
on
helping.
how to envision
Exactly.
what are the sources of
Exactly.
funding that we are eligible for.
And what are some of the sources?
Of course, we would start with, BART is getting money from Department of Transportation,
Right,
but they're
right.
also getting money from the state. So there are state tax revenue that they're getting. But then we need to shake the bushes, because there's Department of Commerce, there's HUD. We have funding, we have transit-oriented development. We have opportunities to look for other sources, highways. There was, when I worked for the police department, I was writing a grant every month, and I found little niches, emergency funding and all sorts of funding, and you figure out what is it that you need and who has it for me. And if you take care of it, they'll love you for it.
Now, who are some of your supporters? Because endorsers become very important in
Yes.
any political campaign, and whether you like it or not, this is a political campaign.
Yes.
I don't care
Yes.
what you say about, I'm not a politician. Well, the minute you start running for the
have
board,
to be
you
a
are a
politician.
politician, whether
Yes.
you like it or not.
I never envisioned myself as a politician,
okay.
but I envisioned myself as someone who can lead efforts. And so my supporters include, of course, Mayor Elihu Harris.
Now that's a good one.
good
Mayor
place.
Harris, he's one of the greatest mayors we ever had. And oh Lord, I wish he could come back and clean up this mess in the city. Go ahead.
And board director Robert Rayburn.
Oh yeah, I've had him on the program.
Yes, he's been very helpful, as well as former board member Carol Ward Allen.
Oh, I haven't seen Carol in
We have never lost
ages.
contact, and
I haven't seen her in ages.
she is my advisor.
Good advisor.
Yes, and we also have Nate Miley, who just won his major election
Yes,
for the
he
Alameda
did.
County as County of Alameda
Alameda County Board of
Supervisor,
Supervisors,
and then
right.
a couple of the AC Transit board members, Joel Young and Mark Williams, have always been in my corner. We work
Joel,
together.
I haven't seen him in ages either.
Yes,
he's a bright young lawyer.
he's bright, and he's been very helpful
Good.
to my perspective. And then I've got people that I've worked with forever. Barbara Parker, who is the current Oakland City attorney, and
Yeah, I know Barbara. I've known her
Henry
for
Gardner,
years.
who has
Henry? That's
who has a
good.
following. He's my neighbor. He's my
Absolutely.
friend. I consider him a mentor, and he's a person of
And
strong
Henry Gardner,
character.
in case you don't know, is a former city manager of Oakland. Brilliant
Beloved,
man.
brilliant, and I call it, before I make major decisions, I always talk to Henry.
All right. Wise.
and others. And so Regina Jackson, I've given events to her students on many occasions, career events on transportation and helping the kids.
So in other words, you've got a myriad of supporters ranging throughout the community. Dana, we got to go to break.
Okay.
So don't touch that remote. Put it down. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Dana Lane, a candidate for the Board of Supervisors of BART.
Board, yes. Thank you.
District 7.
District 7.
And she must be elected.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We will be right back with All About Community.